Welcome to the World of the Witcher series. And of course, welcome back to WorldBox World Domination. As you can see here, I prepared the map of the Witcher series, albeit with several, with a lot of glaring mistakes. I'm sure of it, because I have not played a single Witcher game. Nor have I read any wiki parts. I only skim around the map part and try to put down the kingdoms where they're supposed to be. Hopefully you guys won't be too disappointed of that. It's not like I have time or the money to actually figure out the intricate details of the Witcher's world after all. But I tried my best to make the most of this map. And as you can see here, we have had a lot of kingdoms. Now, for those who don't know what the WorldBox World Domination series is, I'm gonna explain it to you guys. Basically, I have a WorldBox world. I put down the kingdom if they have not been put down already. I let them develop naturally and colonize every single pixel of land that is colonizable. And of course, I let all of the cultures that still hold territories to develop to the maximum level. And well, with the diplomacy random event turns on, the kingdom will start to go to war against each other. In the end, there should be one kingdom left standing, and that will be our victor for today. The world dominator himself, I mean themselves, of course. And the game has already begun, but the kingdoms need a little bit more time to prepare for a potential war before they start, duke it out. So let's fast forward a little bit. Well, this map is very special for a lot of reasons. First of all, we can see a lot of river crisscrossing it around. Nevertheless, only a few of them are actually navigable, some of which has already been have some dams, some bridges up, just for the convenience of buildings and going from place to place. We have the Whipsy Skeleton here, which is a island archipelago that has been connected by a few bridges, of course. And there are several territories up here in the north that are slightly, let's say, isolated. Let's put it on sonic speed and we'll see if the kingdom will start to have war against each other. Here's a little bit of a interesting tidbit. If you were to have, if a kingdom have territories over a hill, they will not try to build anything on it. But if that hill is covered in snow, then houses, buildings can be built upon it. Just like normal ground. Even farm. Well, I don't have a farm on the snowy hill right now, but I have seen it in action. Back to the game. Sericania is in the... Oh! Well, we have some war happening. It seems that Nilfgaard is currently in action, doing some expedition into the this area over here that is in control by the Whipsy Skeleton. well, the first few war in the game will probably decide which kingdom will become the mainstay and which will be the lesser faction in the game. Now some would be the underdog, but most will probably just peter out and get dominated, get you know, colonized. Well, not colonized because they're already here, more like get annexed by the other kingdom. And so far it seems that Nilfgaard is doing pretty good in controlling the southern part of the map. Sintra is currently taking over in the central area, with Adrian has finally taken over several villages here in the north, and they are looking over to Redania. This town over here, which is called Obifdren, is kind of well defended here in the middle of the mountain, which probably explains why it is currently not being eyed upon by other kingdoms right now. It is quite difficult to reach the inside of the town. You have to go through a very narrow gate over here, which can be well defended. Povis is currently the faction that is holding this central area. It seems that the kingdom over here has been finally annexed into the Nilfgaard Empire. Adrian is about to say... Oh, Adrian has finished the siege upon the city of Obifdren. I don't know. Kovir is rising as a potential competitor of Adrian. Meanwhile, it seems that Nilfgaard is still continuing to push up north. Sintra is slowly losing more and more territory to the other kingdoms. Kovir even managed to secure one of their town, a coastal town. Oh, and it seems that the isolated village of Deshinsk is now finally seeing some hostile activities. A bit of the territory here from across the river has been claimed. Currently, Deshinsk is under the control of Kovir. It's quite an isolated island. I think the only way you can get on to this island is by ship. But the islanders can be harassed from beyond the river here by archers. So perhaps the island might not be able to keep their own border. Oh, they are being annexed. But I don't see any green. Oh, I see. I know what's happening. As you can see here, several of the villagers from the neighboring kingdom, Adrian, has become stranded upon the island. And if these guys, the soldier, were to step on to this single tile here, which is in control of Deshinsk, it will count as being as a village being occupied by an enemy faction. A very curious position indeed. Uh-oh, and now the village is actually being annexed by an invading army, it seems. Or is it? I mean, it sure looks like it. Sintra has been completely surrounded by Niflgaard. And this last bit of land here, which is probably the most well-defended area for Sintra right now. If you know, they were to be left with one single building, I mean with one single city, it would be this place. Vengerberg. The other town has been taken though. So Sintra is definitely left with one single town left. In the meantime, it seems that Temeria is falling into Kovir possession. Temeria is about to fall. Their last city gone. Well, not gone, but you know, the control of the Temerian kingdom was gone. Temeria kingdom. Adrian has now declared war upon Kovir. The same is also happening for Niflgaard, who has joined the cause. Not because they are good allies or something, but probably because of convenience. Destroying a major competitor by utilizing another one. Kovir has now declared war on Povis as well, perhaps to plunder upon their riches to support the cause, the war cause. Meanwhile, Adrian has been making steadily marching toward the capital of Kovir here. Had they been able to single out an enemy, maybe Kovir could have been one of the you know, candidate for a victory, but against two strong opponents, it does not seem that the kingdom of Kovir could survive for much longer. Adrian has already finished off yet another town, another province. All of their territories are now isolated and undefended. Victory will soon befall Adrian, perhaps, but situation have changed. Sintra now seeing Adrian as the most, I mean not Sintra but Niflgaard, saying that Adrian has the most dangerous enemy has now declared war upon Adrian. The army from Niflheim have been seen here causing some trouble in the city of Wisma. And they're trying to annex the city itself from Kovir, right beneath the nose of Adrian. And they have succeeded. Now they are marching to the east toward the city of Obifdran. They're breaking down the siege, the siege upon the walled city here. Kovir has finally been completely surrounded in this tiny little village. However, the only way for this village to fall is by a landing invasion. Could this happen? Perhaps not. Niflheim has already decided to focus on Adrian instead. The battle will continue raging on as Adrian being pushed further north. Surprisingly, Povis is still standing strong, despite the tenuous diplomatic situation around him. Niflheim is technically still at war with Kovir. But currently, the focus is upon Adrian. And it does not look like Adrian will have to force the combat against the mighty empire of Niflheim, which is growing even stronger. The bulk of the army of Adrian is currently, I don't know what they are doing, but they are focusing. They are, you know, kind of over here in the north. Oh, once again, Niflheim is declaring war on Sintra. Perhaps, you know, it's just a power move. There's no really strategic point to conquering the last city of Sintra. Now, of course, Sintra is not gonna sit down and wait for their conquering. They're trying to break out of their imprisoned situation here within the surrounded city of not Veganburger, no, Vengerberg. Veganburger, oh come on, man. That's a terrible joke. And now we see that Adrian has been completely pushed up north in the corner here. Not the best position to be in. Then again, I don't think their situation can be improved at all. Niflheim has already made it into the central palace. The siege of Sintra will finally come to an end. The king is being assassinated in the middle of the street by 50 people, and they are dying in droves as the king is like kind of a freaking Chad. He's 69 years old. Well, the town of Sintra lived to see another day. I mean, not the town of Sintra. The town of Vengerberg. The kingdom of Sintra. A landing assault has been made upon Port Venice. The occupation is increasing at rapid rates, and the town of Port Venice will probably fall within days to the control of the Niflgaard Empire. Sintra has finally been conquered. It seems that this time there's not going to be any miracle happening. The kingdom, the Empire of Niflgaard, will become the sole ruler of the Witcher world. Adrian has finally made peace with Niflgaard, perhaps for only a limited amount of time. Niflgaard is now focusing on Povis instead, after successfully conquering Adrian, which is actually being conquered by Povis themselves. And Adrian has fallen, and with only one single move, the Empire of Niflgaard has eliminated both of their, both of the annoying opponent of Povis and Adrian. A decent strategy. Oh, but surprise, surprise, Povis is actually getting the upper hand here. They are trying to unite the Northern Peninsula against the rule of Niflgaard. But will they be able to muster enough force? Or will they just fizzle out like a bottle of soda that had been left open for 5 hours? Well, it seems as the latter is the conclusion for Povis, their last city. Land Exeter is being annexed. Povis was finally destroyed. Let's check on the situation with the others. Only Kovir is in danger of being annexed, being, absorbed into the Niflgaard Empire. Well, let's skip forward and see whether it happens. Perhaps due to the remote location, it is a futile attempt to invade the city of Deshinsk. Kovir might be safe from the hand of Niflgaard. Although, based on the relationship between the two kingdoms, Kovir is definitely in danger. If the battle does not happen in the next, 100 years or so, I will declare Niflgaard a winner. For obvious reason. Well, I'll be back once a war happens. Finally, the kingdom of Niflgaard has declared war on Kovir. It's the last war to be fought on this world, perhaps. Yeah, well, definitely, because with the Calyx have the far land buff, and which will probably spare their fate from being conquered. The ship is sailing up the river here and is dropping the army, a landing party, just enough to subdue the kingdom of Kovir for good. And with that, we have finally seen the end of Kovir. And of course, the totality of this continent here has been completely engulfed within the rule of Nilfgaard. Congratulations, Nilfgaard, for becoming the sole ruler of this world. And with that, I would have to say this is the end of the video. Thank you for watching, and do subscribe if you want to see more of this WorldBox World Domination. But I will have to end it here. See you around.